Hello, hello, hello. You are looking great today. Why, thank you. Welcome in the kitchen with me, your host, Brad. I'm just hanging out, making a new beat, and wanted to invite you along. So let's dive in. Just got an empty project here. I'm working with this song, That Ever I Saw. It's a Darman Mater composition. Yeah, it's something I wanted to sample for a while. She's Dwappies and wipes. Okay. Okay, so I've chopped up that sample a bunch and only taken the parts that I really want to use. And I actually think I might keep going with it and actually sample it out. Okay, so what I've done here is I chopped up the sample. Then I took the entire sample that I wanted to use, right-clicked on it, and did convert to a new sampler track. And that's where I get this, where I can then play in the sample. I also have some EQ on this thing, just cutting out a lot of it because I want the sample to live in the background. I'll probably bring a little up as I work and then get rid of it later. Alright, so I figured out the pattern I wanted to use that sample with. I have one version that has some tape delay on it here to make it hang out a little longer. I got it set to a quarter note. You can see all the parameters there. And then I have my main sample that's doing that. And then we land on the downbeat. You can already kind of hear it happening. Let's get some drums on this thing just so we can get some rhythm and get rid of that click. Okay, so I found the snare I want, and I'm just going to add some EQ to it and then play the pattern in. Okay, I found a snap I want to add in. I'm just going to throw some reverb and some EQ on it, and then we will play in the pattern. Okay, so I have my snap. You can see that I have some reverb, little play from Sound Toys, and I've EQ'd it, and so here's the pattern with the snare. Almost time to stop messing with that click. Let's get a kick in here. Alright, I found the kick I want. I've thrown some EQ on it like this. I also am going to sidechain it in case I want to do any compressing later. And let's play in a pattern. Okay, we have our bass pattern. Let's get that click out of there. And let's find an 808. I always like the trap bass. We're going to customize the poop out of it. Okay, I've done a bunch of stuff to this 808. It is just the trap bass software instrument in Logic. I've pulled up the drive. I put some distortion on it. I brought the glide up a little bit. I went over all of this in my 808 video that you can check out in the link below. And let's play a pattern in. Alright, here's what we got so far. Alright, that's pretty dope. Let's get some hi-hats in there. Okay, I went searching for hi-hats and I found the shaker that I want to put in there, so I'm going to use that instead. Okay, I also found this other shaker that I'm going to add to the other shaker, and we're going to play some patterns in. Okay, here's what we came out with. I think I still want an actual hi-hat on there, just to make the shaker filled out a little more. Okay, I found the hi-hat I'm going to use. I'm going to play in some pattern. Okay, I have my hi-hat pattern in now, and I want to add an open hat. So I went and found that, and I'm going to play it in now. All right, I finally found where I like it, and let's hear what we have so far. It'd be great if there was a little bit of a kind of a plucky synth, just to add another pitched element, because we just have drums and sample right now with that 808. Okay, so I found a pretty cool instrument that is not at all a preset like I normally say, but what I've done is I'm using the Ample acoustic guitar. This is, I'm almost positive, a free plugin that you can go pick up. And then I have a bunch of EQ on it. You can see I have a pretty intense high cut, and then I'm cutting out some of the lows as well. I have a stereo delay, and then I have a little plate from Sound Toys that's adding a bunch of reverb, and our mix is really high. So I end up with this. Nice and ambient, just to add some texture to the background. Let's play something in. Nope. Okay, so I have that played in the way I want it. The last thing I think I'm gonna add before some risers is just maybe a high arpeggio, just to really flesh out all those cool harmonics that are happening. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I did here. I went and used this retro synth that, if I turn everything else off, on its own sounds like this. You can hear that. I've customized pretty much everything in here. I've changed some of the envelopes, pulled up the sign, did a whole bunch of things. And then on top of that, we're adding an arpeggiator. And I'll show you the settings I have for this arpeggiator. I want all the octaves so that way I can play a chord. I have it going up and down. Stop. I have it going up and down, so you can see that as well. 16th notes are right. Let's get out of both of these things. And then I also have a little bit of EQ, pulling up just some of those high ends. Compressor was on there. Stereo delay, so I make it tail a lot nicer. And then, of course, little plate. Really high on the mix for this too, and we end up with this. Definitely want to use this sparingly in the background, probably during verses and things, but I just like having it there for a little more texture. Great, let's add some risers. All right, so I like to always make my own risers. I'm sure I'll do a tutorial Tuesday on what I do. Pretty much any sound that's happening, you can use to get that cool suction effect, the nice transition from your A section to your B section, or from your verse to your chorus. Here I'm using a fire engine noise that I have put a huge fade on. I've put some EQ on it, pretty intense EQ, and then the decapitator plugin, which is just a distortion plugin, and I'll play you what's happening there. Pretty cool effect, just bring us back into the hook. Okay, so another thing I like to do with my risers is double them and make one of them a regular fade up and another one a speed up. I also threw a tremolo on here. You can see 8th notes of my rate. I changed the phase so that way it's together, so instead of going left and right, we're getting a pulse effect, and it sounds like this. Let me play that isolated for you. So the two risers together sound like this. That's it. Let me know what you thought about this sample in the comments, and let me know if there's things you want me to sample in the future. Thanks so much for watching, and make sure you subscribe so you never miss a beat.